where all opinions matter.
What's up? We back in. This is Stropinion, where everybody's opinion matter. We're in the building with my boy Ray.
Yo, happy holidays, people.
And then we got my boy Mike in the building today.
Yes, indeed. What is going on, everybody?
Shout out to Sogo.
Yes, sir.
So we in here today, fellas, and we've been talking about. We mentioned last week, or when we were in the barbershop, we was talking about this NCAA eligibility thing. It came up with this kid from Memphis, where he's ineligible because Penny Hardaway gave the dude $11,000 when he was in high school to move from Nashville up to Memphis. So I just want to kind of get what y'all take is on that, then I'll give my opinion on it. I think it's whack, but I'll listen to y'all tell me what y'all think about that whole situation. Whoever want to go first.
So my whole thing about it that tripped me out is that this happened prior to him even being, in college.
Right.
Like, exactly. So the whole thing about it was that I'm like, how they gonna trip on him before he's even a college athlete? Like, anything that happens before he's even enrolled into college, that was the first thing that threw me off about it. And then how like defiant Penny was about it. Like once they found out that they were trying to make him ineligible, he still made him play though. And only thing I just really wish the NCAA would get a hold of is the fact that they knowing that the public perception of them now, as far as like how like everybody's like viewing the money that they taking from these kids, the money they making off these kids, and the fact that they won't let them get anything to put toward it. I just feel like something petty like that with him just moving the family, not like he gave them money to, like, for him to get something crazy, or no, he just moved the family from one place to another just for him to be able to continue his college career or go to the college that he wants to. I just feel like they was in a lose-lose situation with that, and I hope at the end of the day that I know he ended up only getting a couple games or something. How many games?
I think he ended up like with 12 or something.
12 games. Ended up with, I think it was somewhere around. I think it was somewhere around 9 that he got. It would have been less than that, I think. But he played those few games or whatever. Something. It was 9 or 12. It might have been 12.
Yeah.
But it was extended because he played in the beginning of the season, right?
Yeah. So I think it was because he played that game and then they extended or whatever more. But I want to say it was like between 9 or 12 games. I think something to that regard. But like I remember when I was watching the game, the dude was saying one of the announcers was talking about how he thought that it was just super weak that they were doing that to the kid. Like, so for instance, if his point was if Penny Hardaway was some amazing piano player or instructor, professor, and that he would move some kid who was some prodigy on the piano and move him to where he was just so he can teach him, he would be lauded as a hero, lifted up as some special guy. But when it comes to things like this where guys, sport, and a lot of times
it's only basketball and football.
Period.
That's the only thing they do it on is basketball and football, and it's only because of the money that they make from it. It's not because of anything else.
Exactly.
It's just the money that they feel like you taking from them by gaining an advantage one way or the other. So, like you say, piano. They don't do it for the swimming classes, track. Exactly. They do it for track. They do special things for track kids all the time. It's never a problem. Basketball and football, billions of dollars being made over there. So that's the only reason it's an issue.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. I think the rules just need to be changed. But going back to this situation, I'll put a little bit of a different spin on it. It was bogus all day long because the rules are bogus. But within the rules, though, I think it was something about Penny probably acting as a booster, because Penny had given like $1 million to the university prior to him giving the $11,000 to the kids. So the rules around boosting, you can't pay pay a player or help a player out in that way if you're a booster for the university, because you basically recruiting. And then he became the coach. Now those rules need to be changed because Penny was acting as almost like a surrogate to this kid and taking this kid under his wing, so it seems bogus on the surface, but as far as the NCAA is concerned, they pretty much asserted those rules, basically that Penny was acting as a booster. That's why they did it. Is it wrong? Yeah, it's wrong. But it wasn't them doing it to the kid per se. It was supposedly them doing it to the university. Just to throw that out there. That's what I read.
Yeah, I read the same thing. That they were claiming that Penny was a boost. It was whack. In my opinion. And I think me and you may have been talking about or somebody, I don't know who it was. It could have been Mike too, but one of us was talking about how the point was made you see a kid. You see yourself in them, you've walked this path, you've played college ball, you've been an NBA player, and man, I can help this kid. And it happens everywhere in every other instance. But like Mike say, because there's so much money involved in it, and they take these kids and they treat them bad. Like we was talking about like a kid like Zion last year, how the way he was filling stadiums up last year with Duke. You know what I mean?
So much money.
So much money made there.
And not only just Duke, but ESPN.
Right.
I mean, at every tournament, it was ridiculous how much money that he was making. ESPN was running NBA games and showing and cutting his highlights and stuff during their games just because they was, and that's just how much attention that they was bringing. NBA was making money off him while he in college. So it was just the money machine, man. It's going, whatever they bread connected to, that's what they gonna be focused on, and that's why they so hard up about changing the rules and adjusting to what's going on now, because they don't want to let go of that extra money that they bringing in, and I feel like that's gonna be the thorn in everybody's side until something change. But
it is
too much bread.
It is pure greed. They don't want to give up a percentage. They don't want to give up a penny of it.
Yeah.
Even if you were just talking about a percentage of jersey sales to these kids, it's a nominal amount in the grand scheme of things. And we talking about kids that sort of drive attendance and things like that. Maybe every kid's not gonna drive jersey sales, things like that. But these kids out here, like when you talk about Zion Williamson, there's no way that he should be prevented from profiting or making any money off of him, his likeness, or the sort of the economy that he's driving.
Absolutely.
NCAA, that's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous because, I remember when Duke played North Carolina, which is always like a huge game in basketball. Me, I'm a diehard Duke fan, and everybody always looks forward to those two games that they play a year in North Carolina and in Duke. And when they played in Duke, I think I remember reading somewhere that someone had paid somewhere around $10,000 for a ticket to go to the game. Former President Barack Obama was at the game. And you see these boys play, mainly Zion, and these guys don't benefit from any of that. They don't benefit from any of that.
Man, that's crazy.
And
to be hearing it sounds crazy.
It's because it's like even with the amount of jerseys that they sell, not only for Zion, but RJ, the other kid. What was the other kid that came from there?
Reddish.
Cam Reddish, and but they get none of that. But then Coach K, who knows how much money he makes coaching Duke, and then his Nike contract, his radio contracts, and all of that. And I get it. You gotta,
and that my name on the floor.
Exactly.
One interesting thing about this whole thing is the fact that we talk about we want these kids to stay in school a bit longer. why don't these kids stay in school, 3-4 years, get their degree? They'll be able to make money afterward, go to the NBA. They'll be better educated, more mature, better money managers. All of this stuff. We throw all this stuff out here. What would allow kids to stay in school? Why do kids jump to the NBA? It's the allure of money. A lot of these kids grow up in impoverished backgrounds, so they trying to get out, and they trying to get all their people out as fast as possible, right? But if a kid was allowed to, capitalize again off of his likeness to generate, maybe some income in college, he may make the decision that I'm gonna stick around 2, 3, 4 years, right? Because I'm not so, pressed for the bread, right? So I'm able to, hit my mom's and them, put a down payment on the house, do this, do that, do what I gotta do. So now I'm not so in a rush. So this could have just changing the rules. And again, it's I know it's baby steps, but we got to do something. But the slight change in rules could change lives out here.
No, all the way.
That's a great point. I can't really say much more about that. That's a great point, because I didn't even think of it that way. That the main reason that you going for, like you say, going to the league or whatever, is so you can make money. I mean, of course, it's a dream of yours to make it there, and everybody's situation ain't the same. Some people, they got to capitalize where their stock is high or whatever, such and such. But man, money is the top motivating factor in a lot of people's decisions, let alone someone that is in that position to make that type of bread. So if they can get cut some earlier on to where it's a benefit for them to actually stay in college, get an education, and get their games better and improve, so that way when they get to the next level, they more prepared. Like you said, I think it could be a win-win all the way around, and I don't think nobody really looking at it from that angle. It's just greed.
Yeah, I mean, because these guys, like, who was I talking to? I could have been one of y'all. I hate when I forget who I'm talking to, but it's like the pressure that they put on these young kids, like all around, like the pressure from your parents, the pressure from your peers and the neighborhood, everything, and you get these guys, these coaches, they come in and they telling you, whether it's a coach, whether it's a booster, whoever, telling you, hey man, you come over here, like DeAndre got Aiden, whatever, what's his name, DeAndre Aiden. Yeah, so he comes in and they found out later he was getting something like $10,000 a month or something to that point. But I mean, if a guy comes to you telling you, now you've never had anything in your life, you poor, right? You poor, you watching your single mom in a lot of cases go to work, working 2 jobs, and the guy come tells you, hey, if you come play for Arizona, I'll give you $10,000 a month, man. Wow. Now $10,000 a month, he's never seen that kind of money. His mother's never seen that kind of money. So his mother may say something like, yeah, it's your decision, but she really leaning toward like, man, you get $10,000 a month, I could take care of a lot of things around here. You know what I mean? But the university making, you go to their school now, they packing the stadium out. How much money are they making off of you? And just $10,000 a month?
And they making it seem like the kids be bad. That's right. The thing. That's the part I hate about the image that they created. A kid like this kid is just this terrible human being now because he took some bread. Yeah, he broke a rule.
Right.
I know it's a rule that's in place, and he broke the rule. But to your point, like, man, my mama been struggling her whole life. Right. My little brother and them barely got shoes, or we barely, got food. And now I'm away while they still struggling.
Exactly.
And no, I'm taking this bread. Cause I don't care about what happens to y'all school at this point. Because that's the only thing. It's not gonna be a problem with me. Because if they paying me $10,000 a month, then that means I got a future in this particular field. So I'm gonna take this. Whatever happened to y'all schools, I'm gonna move on with my life, and that's y'all fault.
Because like it's what's happening. Because it seems like the universities care more about their dime right there. You may have a few of them that have these sort of pure ideas, this sort of rhetoric of like higher education, and you should. But for the most part, man, it's about the dough.
That's 100% accurate, and the thing is too, Okay, so I'm on college campus. I'm a star athlete. You know, I'm gonna eat. Somebody gonna take care of me, right? But we talking about somebody offering you, you know, $10,000, $5,000, whatever it is. I may be eating, but my mom's and them ain't eating.
Right.
You know, if I can do something to help them out, it may not be about me. And like y'all was just saying, you know, they put it on the kid as if the kid committed some type of crime. But a lot of times, it's not about the kid. You know, they not being selfish. They being selfless. You know,
Right.
because a lot of times they trying to help somebody else out, and we don't think about that. It's all about them getting some bread, them shining, go and grab some, you know, some shoes, a car, outfit, or whatever it is. But a lot of times though, it's about they people. You know, at the end of the day. And let me ask y'all this: so who's behind the one and done rule? Right? It's the NBA.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Absolutely. What's the reasoning behind the one and done rule? What does the NBA say the reasoning behind that is?
You remember, Mike? Because you know, guys are coming out.
I thought it was. So was it mainly them trying to work out a deal with the college for them to be able to have some kids stick around, or was that mostly the league? I can't remember.
I think it was
because they put it in the CBA, right?
It's like in the CBA, you have to be 1 year removed from your high school graduating class to go to the NBA, and so that seemed like to me, like, because they claim that they had too many kids coming out of high school not ready to play in the NBA, which was in some cases true. But there's another way to fix that. Like the guys come in, you know, let them come and let them try it at the combine as a high school player. Let them just
don't put them under. I know that's what you're getting at. So yeah, but like just don't put them under a box that they can't come back to college if they don't get drafted where they want to or whatever.
Exactly.
Let them go through the whole process, see what it is, and let them go back. It shouldn't be once you made the decision that you can't change your mind. Like, no.
Yeah, because they did, because they did do that. Like, as long as you don't get an agent, you can go to the combine and work out. But that's only if you're in college. So like, it's not a rule. Like, it should be like, if you're good enough at the high school level, right? And you come, for instance, like Zion or RJ last year, if they come out of high school, let us get a chance to go to the combine and check it out, and let them tell me if I'm ready. And if I'm getting a lot of noise, like, hey, bro, you ready? You probably gonna be a lottery pick. Then let me go, and then like let me have a conversation with an agent to tell me, you know, what my prospects are. Let me just have that conversation. Projections and that kind of thing, and then let me make that choice. Like it's everywhere else, like tennis players, you know, golf, whatever. Everything else is cool. You know what I'm saying? But like you can't do any of that when you a black boy coming out the hood and you can hoop. You know, and then, you know, like others come into that play because it's, you know, it's other guys that do it. But it seems like these kids that come up in these urban situations, you know what I'm saying, those are the better ones, you know. And it just, and you know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist by any stretch. You know what I'm saying? It just looked tripped out.
But at the end of the day, it's just the machine, man. It's about money. You know, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. You know, it's a club, and this is not conspiratorial at all. But you know, there's no other reason for it other than it's about that money. If you can go to college for 1 year, or play overseas for 1 year, you're supposed to come into the NBA more mature. You know, 1 year removed from high school. You know, probably not. You know, again, going to college for that 1 year. What are you doing most of that time? Oh, I'm playing basketball. You mean tell me in 1 year they're getting this quality education, they all of a sudden,
Absolutely
you know, so mature that it's going to benefit them when they get into the NBA. Again, 1 year removed. What else is it about? You can't even justify.
You can't at all.
Really, after that
College
1 year,
E2.
after that 1 year, I mean, after the season over, a lot of them dudes don't even really be going back to class and stuff. Like once, like in basketball in particular, like. Once March over with, that last April, May, the Mars ain't going to class. They getting ready for the draft, combine, ready for the draft in June, they done. They ain't even finishing out their credit hours, none of that.
None of that. Like, cause the better ones, like, you know, RJ, Zion,
they was gone.
Cam Reddish, you know, Trey Jones a couple of years ago. Like, after the tournament's over, you have an agent. and you're just on the campus now. You're not going to classes. You're not finishing anything out. It was just a step that you went there that the colleges benefit from. And like, it's just like I told y'all before, I'm a Duke fan, but it's like Coach K just bought into the one and done guys, because he was a guy that was holding on to the tradition for a while. But then all of a sudden you see, when Calipari started doing it and he started getting scraped, now he's going to get Jaleel. Now he's going to get Jabari. Now he's going to get the Cams and the Zions and the RJs and the Bagleys. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way you're going to stay at the top. That's the only way you're going to keep making money, because now you're going to get pressure from those people who pay you, those radio stations like, hey, man, like Kentucky's getting all these guys, man. You know, I know the kind of guy you want to bring here, but, hey, let's try to recruit some of these other dudes. You got to compete, man, and that's the only way to do it. But, like, it's like, you know, LeVar Ball, I'm not a fan of him at all. But, like, with him saying, like, hey, y'all don't have to go to college. Y'all can just come play in my league for 1 year, get a little bread, and then y'all can go to the NBA. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, I was just thinking about LeVar Ball.
Let's get Ray in the mic, man. Come on, Ray. I want you to talk with him. There it is.
My bad, but I was just thinking about LeVar Ball and what you were just saying. See, you know, we clown dude, right? Because I mean, he put himself out there. He over the top. But we gotta listen to what this guy's saying at the end of the day. We go control our own thing. You know what I mean? He's seen that for a long time. We don't agree with his approach, you know, because it seems so radical. But that's exactly what we need. I think dude is really innovative at the end of the day when you look at what he's trying to do. You know, why should we let the NCAA, you know, control our destiny and get all the bread, right? If I'm going to make the decision to only go to college just so that I can make that leap to the NBA and I got that talent, then I'm going to bet on myself, why not go make a little money in this league and do my thing or go overseas or whatever? Because at least I'm dictating my own pace, and I don't have the NCAA telling me what I can and can't do for a year. I can't get some free gym shoes. I can't get a free meal, right? I can't get no bread. Come on, man.
Yeah, and that's the biggest issue, and that with me, and it's always has been with me. Like, y'all making money and I'm not. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause this is not 1962 anymore. Like, it's like the NCAA. Around March Madness time, they clocking like $1 billion, bro.
And the biggest thing that's driving it to be a change is that we move into a technology. Well, we already have. We're in a technology era. You know, the NCAA just always had the vehicle, TVs. They always had. It just had always had everything to showcase your talents on. So, but now these kids got another avenue. They got, you know, Ball is Life on Instagram. They got all these
Bleacher Report, everything,
all this stuff that's following what you're doing, even if you're not in college, even if you're not that guy. So you can go to another avenue and still be getting your game, you know, showing the people that showing what you're doing, just like LeVar did with LaMelo. Yeah, just like he did with LaMelo.
So like, cause what league is that? LaMelo's in like he's just in a professional league.
I don't know even what league it is. I just know he's hooping overseas.
Yeah,
but he's still getting upper level competition without having to, succumb to what the NCAA want them to do. And LeVar was definitely innovative in that. His execution, his execution was just bad. That was just the only thing that held him back. He did have a great idea with it. I do think that was his best idea, but he got in his way with his ego.
His ego
got in the way.
His ego.
His sons weren't even buying into him no more.
Exactly. His ego is what is his biggest nemesis is his ego. Like you have great ideas, but how about have a thought partner? You know what I'm saying?
You selling a $500 shoe and you can't even deliver it. Like, how you making miles wait 6 months for a $500 shoe, man? That's just not good.
You know, people always want us to listen to them, you know, but they don't want to listen to anybody. You know, people, we not only have to be willing to, we want to influence, but we have to be willing to be influenced On the other end, that's LeVar's problem. He doesn't want to be influenced by anybody. He doesn't want to listen to anybody because he
think he done learning.
Fairly narcissistic ego, But again, aside from all of that, though, his ideas, I think he's correct in pursuing that, and it's actually working for him. It's working for his kid. We're talking about his kid. Going number 1, number 2 in the draft.
That's what they're saying.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, he has a plan. I just, it's just weird to listen to.
Yeah.
Because but anyway, like I hope that they can fix that. You know what I'm saying? I hope that in the near future that they can correct that, because it's just a lot of the kids they just get the wrong end of the stick for them. I can't find the phrase, but it's just whack. It's just whack, and they need to do better at it. They need to do better at it. For somebody who's that's their brand. Like, I'm working on my game because this is how I eat. You know what I mean? I'm an entrepreneur, and my business is my body and my skill, right? And so they monetize their talent. So if you're capitalizing NCAA, especially like you guys say, off their cash cows is college football and NCAA basketball, and these guys that draw that attention and get all that money, now your $50,000-$60,000 education is nowhere near, because I'm going to generate, if you Zion Williamson, if we talking about how much revenue this guy generated for Duke last year, Duke and everybody else, other schools, he go to places that had never sold out before. So they're going to sell out because Zion's coming in the room. Even when he was injured, they just like, he may play, or I want to just see him walk past. You know what I'm saying? He has that sort of celebrity, and he gets nothing for it. Like, he can't even take his girl to the movie. You know what I mean? Get her a slushie and some popcorn. You know what I'm saying?
Which is ridiculous. But the NCAA will wake up, and these sort of organizations, the way to get them to wake up is to hit the pocketbook. Right. Any sort of monopoly. You can't have a monopoly if you have the right type of competition out there.
Right.
Yeah. If again, when we get into LeVar Ball, yeah, that can be the beginning of some sort of competition for the NCAA. It's weird talking about it because, we see the NCAA, these, institutions of learning. This is college. And it's crazy to be talking about them as if they are, Facebook or something, and talking about competition. But that's the amount of money, right, that's going through these universities today. And it's there's got to be a reckoning.
Shout out to Stropinion. Listen to Stropinion again, where your opinion matters. And I'm talking here with my bros. Shout out to Sogo, Chicago.
Yes, indeed.
Mike, tell them what they can do with that.
Oh, check me out, man. Sogo Chicago is a brand. Represent Chicago. Everything we got going on, all positive light. What we got as far as our culture. The way we move, the way we act, what got us our swag and get us going on a daily basis, just in our blood, man. It's a way to represent in a positive way. SogoChicago.com, SOGO Chicago.com. Check it out. Get you right. I appreciate y'all for supporting.
It's a hit too, y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No doubt.
I was thinking about, just before we move on, so on the football side of it,
yeah,
they do mandatory 3 years.
Mandatory.
Yeah. And I mean, I know part of that is because NFL, it's a super physical game, and your body has to be ready. You have to be ready for football.
Right.
You need 3 years to be to grow into being a man. But I'm just thinking, like, if that was the case in basketball, what y'all think that'd be good for the basketball side of it? Because I know there's some guys like Zion you know, like if LeBron would have had to go to college for 3 years, like it's just would have been a waste of time. You know, really, because they're not really accomplishing nothing there. But
they at all.
For the average.
I mean, for the average, of course, it's gonna be better. It's gonna be better for basketball. Like it's you know, guys should stay, and then like even if it was a rule for them to stay, then LeBron would have just dominated for 3 years. He probably would have just broke all kind of NCAA records, maybe, because you know we talked about that last week. Maybe he would have, but like it'll be good for the game. It'd be good for the game, but like I'm gonna tell you what, bro. Like if I got a son who's 6'9", right, with the skill of LeBron James, or like I got a kid like Giannis, or a kid like Ja Morant, you know what I'm saying? He's my son. I don't listen. One of my mentors, Daryl Backstrom, told me this. He said, "Son, you go to college to get a job, and so if you get in college and you play 1 year or half a year, you go to school for half a year, and they tell you you're gonna make $10 million a year, son, you leave college, because you go into college." These days, you know, you have some people intellectual, they just go, they like learning, whatever. But for the most part, in the United States of America and in other countries like ours, you go to school to get a job so you can earn a living.
That's right. And you know, you allowed to, like other people can go to college 1 year, 2 years, open up your own business. You can drop out, do whatever you want, as long as you can, you know, reach whatever goals you got at the end of the day. A lot of these kids coming out of school, man, they've been playing for years. They, you know, if you LeBron James, you know, you a grown man, you know, already. There's nothing that, you know, college can do for you. You got to go in the NBA and dominate like right off the top.
Right.
Not in terms of your game. Now, what I would say is, I think 3 years would benefit everybody all the way around. It would benefit the NCAA. It would benefit the NBA, just in terms of, you know, these guys ready, coming, you know, right out of college. They're mature, you know, all of those things. And it's great for the players, and allowing them to be kids, you know, coming out of high school, man. These guys, they still kids. They can't even drink legally, you know, and they going to the NBA at 19 years old, you know, getting millions of dollars. You know, again, they're not even mature, you know. So again, I think college is a great experience for everyone, and I think those kids would benefit from experiencing that at the end of the day, but not in the way that the rules are set up today. There's got to be some change in the NCAA to allow these kids to stay in college and want to stay in college as well. I don't think we should make them, especially under some of the circumstances that these kids are living under.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, as much money as the NCAA is making off of them, they gotta give them some money. Because of course, it's gonna be a better brand of basketball if you're making everybody stay there, right? Like if you like if Carmelo and LeBron and Dwayne Wade, they're all in school at the same time for 3 years, you know, then it'll be like back in the day when cats weren't leaving school, when you had like, you know, Mike Stanton in NCAA till he was third year in school, you know, Ralph Sampson. And again, did y'all check that 30 for 30 about Jimmy V? Did y'all check that out?
Recently?
Yeah, I mean, it came out like last year, but they showed it again. But that's something to watch, the 30 for 30. I can't think of the name of it, but it's about the NC State when they had that title run. It was amazing. But what was tripped out is I was watching Ralph Sampson like before he injured himself, and he was an absolute monster. He was a bear in college, man. I'm talking about he was unstoppable, Ralph Sampson. So, you know, check that out. But that being said, we can talk about the NBA right now. We talked about it last week, man, Ray. We talked about the Lakers. We talked about the Bucks. They playing tomorrow. What do you guys think about those teams? Like, are the Lakers your favorites to win the championship if they stay healthy? I'll start with Mike first.
Favorites to win the championship.
I mean, like beyond your bias.
Like if I just based on what we've seen so far this season.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like they have so much riding on LeBron and AD, and we've seen that a good defensive team in a 7-game series, in a half-court game, I feel like at this point in LeBron's career, just with the competition that's out there, I would have to go with the Clippers, but it's really, really close. Only because the Lakers are so big. They are so big. And I know everybody talk about the Clippers defense on the perimeter and stuff, but I actually feel like dialed in, like the Lakers might have a better defensive team because about because AD he's fully bought in right now. Defensively.
All the way.
He's all the way there. Dwight only playing defense really. And so then you got somebody like Danny Green, you got Avery Bradley, you got Rondo, you got Caldwell Pope. These marks that's only really playing defense, and they, Danny Green knocking down shots all day long, and Dwight rebounding, but just fully dialed in. The weakest spot they got defensively is LeBron. So if like LeBron is like, right. if he's like committed to playing defense for an extended period of time, man, it's a toss up. I'm gonna be honest. It's a toss up. I like what the Clippers got only because of Lou Williams. As far as like having somebody that can get a bucket even with good defense. So having 3 guys that can get a bucket with good defense as opposed to 2 that the Lakers got, that's the only reason why I'm leaning to. And I feel like the Clippers got a better coach. That's the main reason I'm leaning towards the Clippers. But they got a good chance.
Like so what is like the playoff or championship experience? What does that have? Does that have anything to do with your decision at all?
Well, AD don't have much experience.
He doesn't. I mean, and I think they're gonna have to rely on him. But
yeah. So I don't know. Like, I've never seen AD have to face adversity in a primetime spot. Against defense's focus. I know that I think the Pelicans made it once or twice. I know they played.
Yeah, I think they went to the playoffs one time.
Warriors 1 year or whatever. But he was letting Draymond get in his head then. So I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know how to judge how he's going to respond in the playoffs. I know he's more than capable of responding in a positive way, but I got to see it happen. Everybody else on that team. They don't really have nobody that's like a proven. They got Rondo, but to me, Rondo's a super liability if you got LeBron running the point guard. Yeah. So in a half court setting in the playoffs with the slow down, and you got LeBron running the 1, and Rondo just out there.
But at that point, like that's where the coaching gonna come in, because at that point, Rondo doesn't.
I don't trust the coach.
Yeah, like because it's like Rondo can't be in a late playoff series, like in the late game of a playoff series, in the late parts of the playoffs. He and LeBron have to interchange. He's gonna have to back LeBron up in playoff games. Like he's gonna have to come out and like be the point guard, but he can't be on the floor with LeBron handling the ball because
I can't see him being in a consistent rotation though. Like in the playoffs,
right?
So you got
LeBron, but
AD, Dwight, Kuzma, Pope, Bradley.
What do you don't need him?
Yeah,
I get you. That's
so
you saying like so he that playoff experience in his regard doesn't even matter because he's not gonna be. And I agree with you because I didn't see it from that perspective.
He's not even a defensive guy.
Because like at all he's.
Rondo like a defensive guy.
Get all the way on that mic, Ray.
Rondo is an assist guy. I don't know if he's a defensive guy anymore. I don't think he's known for that. But it's a toss up in my mind. I really don't know, y'all. Lakers, Clippers. I think one of them winning the championship.
Yeah, between those two, I think so.
Between those two, you know,
barring an injury.
Why I love the Bucks and Giannis and these guys, you know, in the East. I just think it's coming out of the West, and it's one of these teams, and I think they head and shoulders above the rest, just in terms of both offense and defense. Right now, I mean, I love the Clippers. You know, I love Doc. I think he's a great coach. But if I just look at superstars, and it's a superstar league, and you know who gonna close out a game, and LeBron hasn't necessarily been known for that. We talked about that. He hadn't been known for that, but you got a killer in AD. And if I'm gonna take either of those pair, I'm gonna take LeBron and AD right now. I think they got it over Paul.
Only because
and Kawhi.
Only because we talked about and I always reference you, Mike, when I come to this point, like LeBron James is the biggest front runner ever in the history of the NBA, and when he has somebody he can depend and rely on and lean on, you know, he's, you know, with this motivation, the city's behind him and all that. I just give him that. But I don't know, because Clippers been playing very, very well.
And I'm trying not to doubt Kawhi. Yeah. Man, but last year he showed me a lot that I just never ever in my life thought I would see Kawhi Leonard doing on a basketball court, and for him to have that confidence knowing that he got, you know, Paul next to him, but it ain't even really Paul. He got two pit bulls on his team with Harold and
Pat
and Pete Bev, West Side all day. So I don't know. Focusing 7-game series, focusing in on them. Me trusting Doc Rivers as a coach. It's a toss. I really don't. I really hope they play each other
in the conference finals.
Really hope they play.
Right now, you know, that my edge is just the Lakers right now. Just right now, because they playing so well. If they keep playing like that, I was watching LeBron James play basketball the other night. I think they were playing against Miami, and I was just so frustrated, you know. And I always want to preface this by saying I think LeBron James is a great basketball player. I think he is a great guy. I love what he does in his community, because I don't want people to think that I'm hating on him. Mm-hmm. But where I get frustrated with him, I'm watching the Miami game, and I don't know if it was Jimmy Butler or the other kid guarding him, and he just decided to go to the rim. LeBron did, and he got to the rim so easy. I mean, it was it was a tight game. He just when he got a bucket and just ran back down. It's just I just don't understand why is it so difficult for him to do that
all the time
in big moments. I'm talking about this is just a regular season game. Yeah, you can, you know, it's not a whole lot of pressure if you lose this game, but I want to see you do that in Game 7 against the Clippers when you need 4 or 5 buckets in a row, where you just isolating cats off.
Free throws. LeBron's so scared of shooting free throws, John.
He's
struggling. He's struggling too.
He's so scared of shooting free throws, man. I think the longer he was starting to play,
yeah,
man, this dude. I mean, he can't shoot free throws like that. I just feel like you said, he could still year 17 physically could dominate
everything,
almost anybody that's on the floor. And he just make the decision not to at the end of the game.
Yeah.
I just can't see no other reason that he just don't want to shoot free throws. No, I can't see any other thing. He is the smartest basketball player, IQ-wise, in the league. He knows everything about the game. He knows
Magic and Mike, yeah.
He can recall stuff. The dude is a genius on the floor.
Genius.
So mentally, you saying that as a fan watching it, so you know that on the floor. You know his coach telling him that, or his teammates telling him that. So it just got to be some confidence. And even the best, I just think I think he do not want to shoot free throws at the end of the game, because he know they're gonna foul him. They're not gonna let him get the bucket. They're gonna foul him.
And I guess that's what it is. I mean, I don't know. It's just because I'm just such a little dude and wish I can be big. You know what I'm saying? And always being the smallest dude on the basketball floor, I had to work so hard to play so much defense. I had to hit every shot that I was wide open if I wanted to stay on the floor, because I'm so little. And then you see a guy like that, I mean, who's amazing on the physical side, the talent side. I mean, really, I've always said that LeBron is the most random basketball player ever. He doesn't have any moves, but at this point, it's just like Shaq was. He didn't really need none. He could just get to the rim whenever. But I never ever thought about that. Like talking about LeBron, I was talking to one of my brothers the other day, and he says he's just biased. He just, because I was telling him, like, I think LeBron's a great basketball player. He was like, with me, man, it's all about aesthetics. He said, I just don't like to watch you play. You know what I'm saying? He's like, he says it's like when you watch Michael Jordan play, the gracefulness, Kobe, Carmelo, you just see this art form, and this cracked me up. He says LeBron James' game is like Shaq and Clyde Drexler had a baby.
That's crazy.
I'm not gonna. I want to tell you who it is, but he didn't want me to mention his name.
Clyde game is super ugly, dude.
Hey,
I already know by the way that you just told that story exactly who it is. That dude a fool, man.
Yeah, boy.
But hey, man, nobody.
So what about Zach LaVine? What y'all think about him?
Are we really finna talk about the Bulls?
I mean, I'm not talking about the Bulls. I'm talking about Zach LaVine. I know you guys are some big Bulls fans, but I just want to know about Zach LaVine. Like, what do you think about Zach LaVine this year?
We just said LeBron is the smartest person. Zach LaVine is probably
The opposite.
It's the exact opposite. IQ wise, man, as far as a basketball player physically, as somebody that just plays the game comes so easy to that dude. Like, he can shoot 30-foot threes like nothing. Water. Super athletic. Quick first step. Like, he got everything you would want. 6'6", 6'7". But that dude, mind is ridiculously remedial, bro. Like, he is slow on the court, bro. Like, he just do not be knowing what's going on situationally. Like, he not reading defenses. He just predetermined. Man, he's so frustrating to watch, Ray. I don't even want.
No, they get on Jim Boylan. Jim Boylan for taking the man out the game. But what Mike is saying is true. Jim Boylan has to sit here and look at this every game and look at this guy make just boneheaded mistakes, plays. Again, talented is all get out, but it's a reason why Jim Boylan will bench your best player on a garbage team. And I'm saying that I'm a Bulls fan, but the team is trash. You just ain't gonna bench your best player. There's something going on, man. and this dude here, it's between the ears, baby.
Hey, what do y'all think about? We got a few more minutes here, just a few more minutes. But what do y'all think about when we talk about Rookie of the Year, like Ja Morant, the kid in Miami, the kid from here, Kendrick Nunn, who's your early, we about a third through the season, Rookie of the Year right now? I don't know, man. I think Kendrick was just such a surprise to me, and they're winning, and I don't know why I was surprised. I watched the kid play in high school. I knew he was gonna be a good basketball player. 6'2", 6'3", uber athletic. Coming from Chicago, playing on the South Side. You're not afraid of anyone. But Ja is very exciting to watch. But who you guys going with?
Kendrick is a bucket.
True.
And Nunn is a walking bucket. And I think he's a prime example of people just not paying attention to someone's his game and what he was doing. Like, he was doing that in high school. He did it in college consistently.
Yeah.
And he did it in college consistently. I don't care. I just hate that they'll draft somebody that averaged 8 points and they were like, oh man, he got the potential to be out this world. But this dude put up a game all consistently throughout his college career. And he couldn't even he didn't get drafted.
Exactly. He was undrafted from Oakland.
Undrafted.
Yeah.
And then was bouncing around during the summer league. What are y'all looking at, man? But then y'all got these weak minds that be making the team, bro. It'd be crazy. But not to get off the point. Ja as far as everything that you would want out of a rookie of the year.
Yeah.
As far as having a great floor game, he got the moxie. He got a great swag about him. Super confident, and like you say, just super exciting to play. You know how we are about twitchy point guards with D Rose. I just hope he stay healthy. That's all, because he got like that.
Yeah,
quick twitch jumper, then just super athletic, and just he reckless a little bit,
going to the rim,
going to the rim, and he just hooping, having fun with it. But at the same time, I just don't want him to get hurt. So I'm gonna go with Jado.
It's fun to watch. I'm gonna go with Ja too. D Rose to tell him, hey man, take it easy, baby. You know, I mean, he is explosive, but he doing what we thought. I mean, watching him in the tournament last year, you know, we thought this kid was NBA ready. We were like, man, I was like, man, it was a pipe dream, baby. It'd be great to get him, though. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he doing exactly what, you know, I thought he would do coming in the NBA.
So he didn't need to come to the Bulls with Jim Boylan, though.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, Boylan is whack, bro.
He is terrible. And when I talked about him benching Levine, that was no credit.
Yeah, the credit
to Jim Boylan. I was just making a point.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
wax sauce.
So what about D Rose, y'all?
I'm super proud. I'm super happy for him. I hope he keep going. I think he's in the right role. Whatever team he end up on, I hope he can stay with a team that you know, could really use him for a year or two, but I just feel like he's just going to keep bouncing around from team to team. He's going to get a contract every year, but as long as he just keep putting seasons together, keep getting, you know, contracts taking care of himself, but every time the man's, even from when he was here, like whenever he was healthy, he produced. It just was about him staying healthy, and like he been healthy the last couple of years, and he been producing. Like they was showing his projected numbers, like if he was playing 36, I know he only averaging like 22, 24 minutes a game now. But the mock averaging like a dub in 22 minutes a play. 6 assists, 6.
Yeah,
he doing
his thing.
I don't think basketball was ever a problem for him. It was just about him staying healthy. So I hope he stay that way.
MVP.
All day.
All right, D Rose, baby. Like he told Dorisburg, I think he told that last year, but I'm back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And D Rose.
What he say after that last game winner? You know, you guys know I don't talk like that, but
hey,
I'm built for this shit.
Right. I'm built for this. But D Rose, man, I'm a big fan. I love what he's doing. I think it's a travesty, you know, as far as, you know, the contract he on. I know why teams do it, but you know, what he getting paid, and you see other guys making, you know, $20 million a year in the league and they trash, man. It's kind of got.
Yeah. So I like we talk about point guards. I think I was looking at Chris Paul the other night, only the second player. What is it, like 18,000 points, 9,000 assists, and 2,000 steals. Only other guy to ever do that was John Stockton. And you know, Chris Paul might be the last like point guard like that, like, you know, that like prototypical point guard, you know,
in the league. Yeah.
Like I mean,
that's just not a scorer. Just like
just
not
like
a super
right,
scoring
just
guard.
not a super scoring guard. Plays
LeBron
defense.
James.
Yeah. No, for real. No, you're right though, because like I don't think it's no guards that's like coming out that's not like a scoring first guard. Like Chris Paul just good at scoring, but he was always a pass first guard.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think in the league like now.
When you think about guys like who has like that point guard mode, like we don't. It's not there anymore. It's just like the power forward is gone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but no, we don't have no guards. Bro.
Yeah, it's not like that. You got guys like, you got a guy like Ja Morant, who we call a point guard, a guy like Russell Westbrook, who's averaging a triple-double. But I've always said it's like the most selfish triple-double I've ever seen in my life. Exactly. So it's like, you know, when Chris leaves, it's like an era leaves. You know what I'm saying?
And the Bulls was up by 26 against them night before last.
Oh my God, and lost that
let
game.
Chris Paul get him 30 and 20, 30 and 12 or something.
This is crazy.
You playing with like 2 shooting guys and 3 small forwards.
Oh, period. That's what it is. You might have one big. You know what I mean? Like Joel Embiid is the like he's like the last probably like
that go your passing point guard.
yeah.
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons. There
Point
it
guard
is.
that won't shoot a free.
That won't shoot. But I think Ben Simmons is like that because I think he's like the other guys, but he's just unsuccessful at it. You know what I mean? He just can't hit a jump shot. It's like all you do all day. You know what I mean? It's like it's to be able to shoot. It's not like I don't know like what the physics are behind it. Like, cause I know Rondo, the way his body is proportioned, it's very hard for him to shoot a free throw because his arms belong on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and his hands. You know what I'm saying? So it's like physically, the way his proportions are, it's hard for him to shoot a shot. But I don't see that with Ben. Ben just like he just cannot shoot, bro.
I feel like if you in the NBA, you've been playing basketball,
especially these days. You start when you're 4.
Entire life.
Yeah, you're 4 years old.
Entire life you've been playing basketball. The first thing you learn is to put the ball in the basket. You don't learn to bounce pass or nothing. You learn to put the ball in the basket. That's the first thing you learn.
Right.
The object of the game is to get this oblong, but no, to get this ball and put it in the basket. So I just feel like if you're getting paid to do this for a living, y'all, you in the gym morning, noon, and night. Like, you should be able to make a shot from 10 foot away from the rim.
Get a shot.
Like,
man. Get a shot.
I'm not with that, bro.
Yeah, what is he working on every day? More passing?
Because I don't know Ben's numbers. I don't know if he's like this. Like, I don't look at Ben Simmons but like, oh man, he's a defensive stopper. You know what I mean? Like, but I know if I'm on a team, I know he has to play, but at the same time he has to work. I forgot to mention too about Chris Paul that he's making $38 million this year. Just heads up.
Robbery.
Highway.
Hey, before we get out of here though, you guys were talking about gym shoes in the barbershop the other day, and y'all were talking about like y'all top. So let's take about 5 or 10 minutes, because I don't know. You know what I mean? Like gym shoes, like all. I was around in 1984 and 85 when the Jordans came out.
Is 5 or 10 minutes long enough for you, Ray?
5 or 10 is plenty. Okay.
Yeah. So on y'all, we just we got to get Ray in that mic. But
top 3, Ray. Go ahead.
So first of all, in Chicago we say gym shoes, right? So anybody listening outside of Chicago, we ain't talking about sneakers, all that.
We say gym shoes.
We say gym shoes. So at the end of the day, we was talking about this, and I threw out my top pairs, and I think so. First, I'm gonna say the Air Jordan 1, right, is probably my favorite pair of gym shoes, and for me, more than iconic. We talking. First pair of Air Jordans come out in 85, and I'm only
84 or 85.
84 of 85. I'll look it up. I'll look it up real quick.
I think 85, but so we talking, all these years we still wearing the same pair of gym shoes, just in different colorways, the same exact pair, and they go with everything. You can rock a pair of Air Jordan 1s with literally anything, jogging suit, dress, anything, So I think that's probably my number 1.
Yeah, the first Air Jordan shoe was designed by Peter Moore in 1985.
That's what I'm saying.
I was 11 years old.
I think in the tongue of my shoes right now, it's 1985.
Are you doing top 3 or are you gonna do your top 1?
Okay.
Give me your next 2.
So my next 2. For me, so same criteria. You talk about just being iconic, longevity. The Chuck Taylor might have been the first pair of basketball shoes, right? Period. Right? Everybody playing basketball in a pair of Chuck Taylors today. However, we wearing the same pair of Chuck Taylors that they was wearing back. Maestro, when was the first pair of Chuck Taylors made?
I'll check it out while y'all looking at that.
But the same shoe we win all these decades later again in different colorways, and you talk about the versatility, can't be beat. And I would say probably my third favorite, and only because of nostalgia. I can't wear them now because they're too narrow in the front, but just the look and feel, the Air Max, man. The Air Max, I think, was a game changer.
So, just to answer that question, Converse started making an early basketball shoe in 1917 and redesigned it in 1922 when Chuck Taylor asked the company to create a better shoe with more support and flexibility.
So you're talking about
1922.
A shoe that's been around almost 100 years, bro. That might be the number one shoe of all time.
When we talking about like that type of criteria,
No. That I mean, when you go in there, you can't. I can't argue with it. I really can't argue with the Chuck Taylor. It's just not It's not in my top 3. But anyone like you that would argue that, I'm not arguing against you. It wasn't a shoe I was wearing. Like I think I had a pair. I think I've had like 2 or 3 pair of Chucks in my time. But that was only because my brother made me get one pair, and then we had to get I think we had to get a pair in high school, and then recently, for kid. And but I'm gonna do my top 3. I'm with you on the Jordan 1s because I had to go back and think about it, like which Jordan am I gonna put there? Because we know it's Jordans Jordans are in the top 3. But I had to really go down, and I got more Jordan 1s than anything. And
of course you do.
Yeah, so Jordan 1s, like you say, colorways, the most colorways, they go with jeans or jogging suits. Like you say, girls can wear with dresses or, jeans, whatever they want to wear. Well, it's just a super versatile shoe, man. It's a super versatile shoe. So Jordan 1 up there. I got my next one is Air Max, but my particular favorite Air Max is the Air Max 1. I don't know. I don't know. That shoe, the Air Max 1 is my top Air Max of all time. I don't even think I probably have like 12 pair of Air Max 1s, man. It's my favorite. That might be my favorite shoe ever, is the Air Max 1.
We talking the same one.
Yeah, and then my third, I'm switching out for you. The only one I'm really disagreeing with is, well, not disagreeing, but I'm switching out. It's just the Air Force One, because the Air Force One was my time. It was just like the biggest shoe during my time in high school. Well, I won't even say high school, grammar school, through high school, in adulthood, because they rebirthed them, they redid. But that's one shoe that's been around. I would say that's one of the only shoes that's rivaling the Superstar, Adidas Superstar, shell toes, as far as like a shoe that hasn't changed. Of course, the Chuck is the longest and the most classic shoe.
Yeah,
I think the Air Force One, they could just bring out that white and black one forever, and I don't think it'll ever not sell, because it's perfect. I think that's the perfect shoe for multiple occasions, whether you're talking about dressing down, being on the block, or whether you're talking about throwing it on with some casual stuff, or whether you're talking about, suits, getting married, whatever. Like, I think you could do Air Force One with everything. But if we gon' top 4, top four, I'll put the Chuck in there. But I gotta include my
those
Air Force
1, 2, 3.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. I mean, that was a great point on the Air Force One. That's an all-time classic. I mean, making songs about Air Force Ones, right? We all grew up with them. Classic silhouette, and you ain't lying, hey man. Everybody got a pair of white Air Force Ones in the collection. You don't got white Air Force Ones, I don't know. You might not wear gym shoes, but I agree.
Everybody don't got a pair of black high top Air Force Ones tied all the way up.
Oh, the mid tops?
No, the black ones all the way up. The high top black ones.
You know what? With the strap on the back?
I mean, I'm just playing because like my favorite shoe all time are the Converse Weapons.
The Weapons.
No, I'm just playing.
Hold on for the Google.
I was
He,
just saying,
like, Mike, you don't even Mike doesn't even know what the Converse weapon.
Nah, you don't know what the weapon. Mike don't know what the weapon. Mike a few years behind us.
Oh my God, he don't know the weapons with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson.
Hey, listen, man. You could tell if you had a pair of weapons.
Hey,
in the
in the 80s, boy.
Ain't nobody telling you nothing.
And then
Orlando Woolridge.
Yeah,
specials,
but or you're like Isaiah Thomas when he broke out the low top cons. I mean they weren't calling them the Converse, they were calling them the cons, low tops. On the sprained ankle.
I'm gonna throw this in there too. So I like what you said too, Mike, about the Adidas shell toe. You know, you throw.
Yeah, that was. So we really should have did a top five.
We should have did a top five. We did a top three because it's too many out there. But you throw in the shell toes too, man. Them iconic. But one thing, you just mentioned the Air Max, and I was talking to Air Max 1-2. Why does Thabo Sefolosha wear Air Max?
Bro,
basketball.
Hey, listen, man. Listen.
Wait, he do?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Bro,
it's amazing that you mentioned that, Ray, because I had that in my notes for last week and I just didn't bring it up. Like Thabo wears Air Max when he hoops. Like is it like a special one he wears?
Hold on, give me 2 seconds.
Nah, man.
He just got to wear Air Max.
This dude wear Air Max, man.
When he hooping.
Air Max 90s.
Yes.
Man,
in the
like
games.
Air Max 90s, man. And like in different colorways,
How in the world?
I was stunned when I first saw him.
It's crazy.
Bro, I never knew this. This is why I'm hooping in all colorways of Air Max 90s, bro.
We see you ain't paying too much.
Yeah, not the Thabo. Yeah.
What?
It's crazy, right? That's what he does.
He's playing an NBA game in Air Max 90s.
That's what he wears.
That's nuts.
That's his shoe.
That's the only shoe he wears.
That's his shoe.
Air Max.
Perhaps that's why he's such a journeyman. I don't know.
Perhaps.
Bro, the Air Max 90 is. You talking about an air bubble that's sitting up, bro.
Like, I mean, it's like he's out there with like a little kitten heel on.
He got them Deaconess, them Usher boys.
I'm looking at your phone, though. I'm looking at some of the colors, though. He
wavy with him.
He wavy. He raw with him.
But like, isn't he from like Switzerland or something? Like, where is he from?
Yes, I want to say that sounds accurate. Like,
Sefolosha, I think, is from like the Netherlands or something. I'm gonna look it up real quick and then we're gonna bounce out of here. But let's see where he's from.
It's a great question, brother.
I think it's from Switzerland.
Yeah, he's a Swiss professional basketball player.
You can have that.
This guy's a Swiss.
I don't know where he got
how many people's bio starts off with Thabo Patrick Sefolosha is a Swiss professional basketball player and he's a black guy.
The one where
or like
that's not good.
or what's buddy with the peroxide stain that plays for Oklahoma?
Oh, you talking about the little black guy?
He's like German.
oh yeah, he 100% German too.
I can't think of his guy's name.
My man name.
Well, he's a little annoying guy too. They be always trying to fight.
What's the guy's name? We gotta find his name out before we get out of here. What's this guy's name? Oh my God.
Where it go? Oh, there you go. Schroeder.
Yes.
Dennis Schroeder.
Yes. Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder. Right. Yeah. And he looks. And Dennis Schroeder look like he come from Madison and Pulaski.
Boy, I'm telling you, that boy look just like that man from Lion King. Rafiki.
He's probably from Berlin.
It's amazing, man. It's amazing.
That's crazy. He did like. Nah, I got. Anyway, y'all go ahead.
But shout out. This is Stropinion. We out, man. This is a podcast where all opinions matter. Shout out to Ray. Shout out again to Mike in Sogo, Chicago. Mike, hit him one more time.
Man.
See y'all next week.
SogoChicago.com. Instagram, same, Sogo Chicago. Check me out, man. Check y'all out. Get yourself right. Get together. I really appreciate this. See y'all next week.
Merry Christmas, y'all.
Merry Christmas. Thank you for listening to our opinions on the Stropinion Podcast.